We stone. We stone. We streaming. We streaming. We stone. We stone. We streaming. We streaming. Came to this motherfucker like yeah. Yeah. All my niggas in the chat and we also hot. It's fun. Stone. Stone. Stream. 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 Stone. Stone. Stream. Stone. 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 Stream. Stream. Stone. All my niggas in the chat and we like hot. It's fun. All my niggas gon' get that shit and roll. Yeah. We stone. We stone. We streaming and streaming. We stone. We stone and streaming. Yeah. Getting to the money, gotta get into the bag like yeah. Yeah. Roll up, let him motherfucker breathe like yeah. Yeah. All my niggas in the chat, they hot as fuck. Yeah. Getting to the bag, getting to the bag like yeah. All my niggas we don't do streaming. All my niggas we getting to the cheesing. All my niggas we breathing. Ain't gon' stop going to stop breathing.
What it motherfucking duty? It's the boy. Ain't man.
Hey, you're not playing, huh?
No.
What was I doing? What's up, everybody? We are back with another riveting episode. Riveting.
Froggy Frog World. Yes, sir. It's the Dab Daddy Righteous Ain't Playing. Whopathon. You already know. With your Whopper.
What shall you be smoking today?
I'm smoking some of this Star Drifter rosin.
I'm about to load it up right now myself.
Good old Star Drifter, man. What's going on out there in the chat, man? How's everybody doing?
We only got a couple people out there, but we do appreciate the couple people so far. Days and
yeah, man. We got Inu and we got Cloudy Days. Hey, man, shit up. Inu say, rolling up some CC now. And his next comment say Baseline Road, Arnold Drummond and Pac-Man, aka Miss Pac-Man. Let's go. And what up to Cloudy Days? Shouting out the chat. What up, D-Line? Man, so yeah, man. Shit, man. What you think so far? You knew, man, it'd be great, man, if you could come on and give us a review, or if you could give us a nice little review in the chat, man. How you feeling? I know Chosen want to hear about that Arnold Drummond and that Pac-Man. Definitely want to know about it. Outside of that, man, shit, it's the new year, y'all. The new year is coming, man. It's the last show of 2024. If you didn't know, I'm just fucking with y'all. I'm sorry.
Nah, if anybody want to join, it's all good. Yo, I actually might go. I'm probably gonna go live again at some point in time this week, cause man, I'm back to motherfucking normal, nigga. All that extra work shit is out of here.
Man, that shit would be nice, man. Especially because I know you've been seeing what's going on in the scene.
Yeah, I would like for us to do like a New Year's Eve show of some sort, where niggas just sitting up getting high and fucked up. But obviously that ain't gonna work, because niggas' times is on different shit. Like, you got a whole kid, so your shit is gonna be
got your hat.
Cheers.
Cheers to the chat, man. What you smoking on over there, man?
Liquefied cannabis.
Oh, it's good. Want something new?
It's no, it's I think this is Arnold Drummond stew. Press is great. I don't
That
know
nigga
about
smoking on that AD, aka street clothes. Wrong AD.
Watch, but I already know. You already know, dog. I was wiped out on a lot of them podcasts, but I am fucking back. I am back. Took a little vacation too. They let us stay open back up. So like, I'm like, that shit open? Yes, I'm there. I need that shit now. So we gonna be up this whole fucking week, which is cool because I gotta tear up some shit in the garden and man reset some shit. I already did one of the things, but the other one I really gotta get in there and fuck with them leaves and a whole bunch of bullshit. I got a special breed that's only for my Patreon people that I'm doing, and I'm probably getting ready to start in 2 weeks, and it's only gonna be 2 strains. But it ain't. I'm not never releasing it though. It's just for y'all. You know, the Patreon ain't nothing but about 8 people. Might be less than that, but yeah, it's gonna be some old school with some new school. It'll be like a fucking Purple Punch, Sour Diesel. It'll be Purple Punch and Sour Diesel and Watermelon. It'll be Purple Punch and Sour Diesel and Strawberry Cop. It'll be Purple Punch times the older shit that I got, just for the Patreon people. And then the other line that I'm working on right after that is going to be an actual old school line where I probably either reverse the Strawberry Cop times Sour Diesel or the Watermelon times Sour Diesel and take that back across some of the shit that I got is the plan. But I want to knock that the Patreon out of the way because I really was behind. And then they also gonna get the second drop too, but the first drop is gonna be just for them. And unfortunately, the first drop is just gonna be regulars though. The second drop will be filmed. But the first drop,
man, you say that like it's not people out there that won't be happy to get Regs, man. You know,
most
everybody
people,
don't want them.
I know, but out of my inventory, man, I got plenty of Regs of everything left. It's mainly the films that burn out.
Do you think it's because you get more seeds when you do regulars, or do you think it's just because people are only buying them?
I think it's because when I look at who actually buys seeds from me, it ain't a lot of people that's like looking to breed. It's a lot of people that got limited space, right? If you got a 4x4 or a 2x4, you ain't really trying to grow no regulars because if you pop 6, it's a good chance. Boy, them motherfuckers could be males, possibly even 5. So what I find is a lot of people in my that buy from me in my well, they're usually they don't have the space in case they have males, right? I got a little bit more space and I still don't have the space in case I get males, so I get it. It's definitely more seeds with males though, but if I just go back and look at actual sales versus the seeds that I got, that's where I got my data from, the actual sales. And even though I think it's some really good flavors in the regs, I gotta go back through myself, dog. I have grown less of my regulars than I have of the films. Like I grow everything that I make, but I only grow my regulars like one time, right? Because I grow it and I see how many males and females I get, and I grow through that shit, and I don't go back because I don't want to. Me myself, I don't want to pop regulars and pop 7 or 6. And then be like, well, I gotta see how many of these gonna be female. I don't have the space or the time for that most of the time because I'm one of them dudes that overdo shit. So that's how that shit work for me, and I feel like it worked like that for a lot of people because a lot of people working with limited space, man. I find that people that like regulars are people that intend on breeding, people that got a lot of space, or people that, man, one of these days. Or people that actually believe that the genetic gene pool, or believe that the gene pool is somehow better than regulars or somehow more vigorous, right? And that's not that many people. So my regs usually always be there, but I like the shit that I made. See, Pop 5-pack man got 1 girl and 4 males. Now, if you counting on having 5 plants, that didn't work. That didn't work out well for the person that popped that shit. You know what I'm saying? It works out a lot better when you know, yo, I popped these and this is the amount I'm gonna have, regardless to the ratio, because nobody know the ratio when you popping the seeds. So, you know, it is what it is. People usually just ain't got the time. Yeah, the one is nice, but it would have been nicer if that was a feminized strain and you had 5 of them motherfuckers, right? That's how I look at that shit. So, and it'd be the same way with all my regular strains, or any, not even just mine, any regular strain that I grow. It's like it's a good chance half of the motherfuckers gonna be male, so I don't pop a whole lot. I will only pop like 5 or 6. What's up, Django?
What up? What up? Yeah, man, that shit's crazy, man. I mean, and I tell people all the time, man, you know, because I ran into people and they be talking shit about films. And my whole thing is this: okay, you don't like them, that's fine. But for me, I would take the pros of feminized seeds over the cons of regular seeds any day of the week. And once again, that's my personal outlook. People are entitled to their own outlook. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool on the males. I don't have time to hunt through them. And that's not to talk no kind of shit, you know what I'm saying? Because, hey, man, you could pop a pack of reds and get, you know, 4 females or 5 females out of a pack. You know, how likely is that? Probably not super likely, but it can happen. So, you know. So that's the reason why I like the films better. But, you know, some people feel like, hey, man, I'd rather take regulars because the genetics are stronger. You know, like you were alluding to earlier. And I feel like when it comes to hermaphrodites, I've seen fem term, I've seen regular term. All them shits can term. So it's like that shit is like an automatic cancellation for me. You know, one thing I will say about regulars versus films, I do find, and this is just my opinion, I find that regulars, and I haven't grown as many regulars as I have films, but just in the scenarios where I have regulars and they firmed on me, I would say I find that the herms, it will show the hermaphrodite trait earlier on a regular than it will on a feminized seed. Like you might be in a feminized seed, everything look fine week 4, and then just all of a sudden, boom, full grown nuts. And you be like, damn, where the fuck this shit came from? I've been looking at this shit for 3-4 weeks and I ain't seen shit. Whereas like I feel like on the regular, you gonna see the hermaphrodite trait a lot earlier.
I would agree with that. And like what happened with Inu? He popped the Donkey Kong, another different regular strain. Now that one had 3 girls and two dudes, right? So that was a better ratio. But again, you popped 10 seeds and ended up with 4 that you was gonna keep. So it's just, that's what I find with people growing regulars, and even myself, just the ratio of what you gonna have. You can't fucking tell. You just don't know. So you gotta either account for extra space in case, you know what I mean, or you gotta just be willing to say fuck it, whatever. And y'all know, well, y'all don't know, but I got a problem with plant hoarding anyway. So
now, one thing I will say, Donkey Kong, man, I like Donkey Kong. It was pretty good. I think that was a really good one that you had.
Yep. The problem with that is
colors, nice buds.
I don't grow that shit as much as I should because it's a regular seed. And again, the pheno I had a couple different phenos because I popped a couple different seeds, but it was nice. I want to get back to Blue Magic. That was another really good strain, but man, it's hard to get back to them regular strains because as a breeder, what happens is, okay, I get back to those strains and I have a male, a nice male. But damn, now I got another regular line coming because I can't get rid of that male that I like. That's how I get all of my regular lines. I don't buy regular seeds for the regular line. I will have my own regular seeds and it'll be like a male. So that's what's another line for me. Like with that Peruvian punch that I got, which is purple punch times purple punch, which I got that from Spooky Tooth. Shout out Spooky Tooth. But that was a male. And matter of fact, the only one that made it was a male. And it looked nice, sturdy, strong, great. So I want to use it. And I like purple punch, but I have no idea if that was a good purple punch. Obviously, that breeder thought it was because he back crossed it to itself, right? But we'll see. It grow like the purple punch that I remember. At least, you know, how it look. We'll see. Just gonna do a real quick short breeding run with that. I can't remember, man, how long it take pollen to drop, bro. I kind of want to start this before I even start the flower with the other five.
What are you doing, a reverse or a regular?
A regular. That pollen be dropping.
I would say anywhere between 15 and 25 days is what I would say.
Yeah, I gotta do some math because I might wanna do that like right now. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe let these plants that I got grow into the spot. Not too big already, but man, when y'all see these motherfuckers, you're gonna be like, Chosen, what the fuck, bro? Like, yeah, they are fucking humongous.
You gonna let them plants in the cloner?
Yeah, man, yes. And from the glance, like the first glance, you like, whoa, those are great. But when you really get in there, it's like, damn, nigga, you got a bunch of bullshit you gotta like clear out.
And I did all the way up.
I did, but I mean, that's gonna be the tricky part in 2025. You know, for me, trying to figure out, get my rotation together because I got a different rotation this year than I had last year because again, I'm trying to make seeds and I'm doing the trickiest shit in the world. I'm breeding and growing in the same room, so I gotta stagger that shit in order to not pollinate anything because it is possible. I've done breeding runs and grown in the same room and haven't had any seeds in my other shit. Done it quite a few times, you know what I'm saying? So problem is that I ain't never done it with a regular male, and them motherfuckers just have so much pollen, dog. Good God.
Man, let's I think that's actually, man, headed right into our first topic, man, which is plans of 2025, man. So I know one of the things you said was getting your rotation down, Pat. And y'all in the chat, y'all feel free to definitely throw in what y'all plans is for 2025, whether it's personal development or whether it has anything to do with growing, whatever it is, the show plans for 2025, what you got planned. So what you got planned outside of that, Joe?
Outside of plants?
No, I mean there's some outside of the rotation. Would you got anything big breeding wise? I know you said you want to get your shit together for the Patreons. I know you said you think you want to run this male purple punch real quick. I know you said you was thinking about reaching back into some of the older strains that you got.
Yeah, because I'm an indecisive type of guy. What I really want to do is get something different and grow it and work with it so that I can get away from a lot of the flavor profiles that I got, because a lot of the shit is a lot of the shit, right? I've been using what I've had so much to the point to where it's a little bit of everything and everything, because at this point, a lot of my shit is polyhybrid. So starting with this purple punch breed run, that ain't gonna be, them seeds ain't all new. They don't got none of the previous shit of anything in them. That's a brand new strain and line, something I ain't never used and never bred none of my shit with or nothing. I'm taking two unknown things and taking it against each other. And then we gonna work with the progeny of that. and hopefully I can get something out of that that'll be decent. Because I want to start a whole new. Because all my stuff tastes different, but it's kind of grows similar, kind of looks similar. Some shit frosted than others. I got different shit, but it's a little, like I said, it's a little bit of everything and everything. When you really trace everything back, you know, a lot of this shit is based off the same like 4 or 5 things if you trace it all the way back far enough, right? So we want to start some brand new things, brand new for me in terms of what I want to work with. So that's the way we're gonna go with that. We're gonna see. I'm really interested to see what this watermelon times sour diesel is gonna be like. I got a really good phenotype of Mike Landon that I got because I kind of wanted to take the Mike Landon against the well, really I wanted the last phenotype of that Mike Landon I had and take it against the CC because I wanted to call that shit Super Sunset Sherbet. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit tastes like Sunset Sherbet, both of them. So I wanted to call that shit Super Sunset Sherbet. I'm saying like triple S, some shit like that. Some niggas know. Other than that though, I really ain't got too much else planned. I would like to actually, like I said, buy some gear just to grow it. I need to pop some more gear. I always like to grow my stuff against other people's stuff just so I can get a good overview, if you will, of how I grow comparatively next to the other breeders in my environment, because I know everything gonna be different in everybody else's environment. So I try to pop my shit with other people's shit to see like, oh, my shit's a little weak, or oh, my shit's a little strong, like just to get an idea. Because the average person is popping my shit next to what the fuck ever in house or motherfucking, you know, Miracrop or goddamn me, Cali Connection. Who the fuck knows? But I just want to grow the shit next to some other shit and see if it's worthy of being in the same tent. And at this point, I feel like pretty much most of what I make is, because that's how I've always started out. Just trying to make sure that it don't look like a regular nigga created this shit when you growing it next to, you know, other people's shit. So as far as that go, that's gonna be the plan with that. And we gonna try to scale down this year and grow bigger plants, right? The theme for 2025 for me is gonna be less plants but bigger plants, right? That's really what we're trying to work on, because I'm tired of having fucking 14, 15 plants in the 5x5, right? I'm tired of that. Like, really what I like to do is just have 4 great size plants in a 5x5, right? That's the goal. 4 in the 5x5 and 2 or 1 in a 4x4. But in order to get that rotation together, I gotta take my time and just let shit veg a long time. And that's like one of the most difficult things, to switch your rotation. So it's gonna be a little challenging, but that's what we're gonna try to do. Bigger plants, but less. Shit, I'd like to get to a point to where I can just have 1 plant in the 5x5 and 1 plant in the 4x4. Right? That would be dope.
Damn. Okay. So you trying to grow monster size plants?
Yeah, this year. Man,
Nice.
because here's the thing. I ain't like I be feeling like a lot of people, I ain't gonna say they a lot, but a lot of people are stretched the truth, right? So they'll be like, oh man, I did A, B, and C and I got 2 pounds. Or I got 1.5 pounds. And you know, that's them weighing everything, larf bud, you know, that's them weighing everything, right? So I don't be getting a whole lot. Cause for one, I only weigh like the A and B buds. I really don't even weigh the C buds, right? So if I'm only weighing the A and B buds, and you know, my thing is, no matter how big the plant is, my rule going backwards, yo, each plant should at least be an ounce in my mind, right? But now that I'm a better grower and I have achieved to the point to where I feel like,
Good shit,
okay,
man. Dope.
I can consistently get a couple ounces in this pot of grade A and B buds. Fuck them seeds, and you know, I trim a lot tighter than a lot of other people. You seen how I trim? It be a lot of shit trimmed off of that shit, right? So that might be why I lose a little bit, maybe. But the goal is to get bigger plants and just grow like really like, one plant out in the half. That nigga say he
Little
eat.
busy fishing and outdoors.
What up, though? Good.
What'd you say? Django says he wants A, B, C, D, E, F, and G buds.
Sound
He
like
need
you.
all that. And El Mando said he only want the top colors. But there ain't shit wrong with that.
That's what I
I can respect
weigh
that.
usually, the top and the B's. So like, with that being said, I feel like that this grow that I just had, where I only had 4 fucking plants in that 4x4, but it was like full. I feel like when I weigh all of this shit up at the end to see what I actually did, I feel like that's gonna tell me what my next move in 2025 is really gonna be. Because if those 4 plants came anywhere fucking close to the 15 that I just had, yo, that means, man, I could do a lot less work. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
I should
can't
be
you
able to
though?
have, I should be able to have
Now,
like 6.
now, would you still do multiple different strains, or would you do more like monocropping? What would you do?
If I grew 4 plants, my goal, 4 plants, um, 4 plants, 6 ounces a piece, maybe 4 to 6 ounces. I know that's a big ass stretch, right, per plant, but 4, maybe a quarter pound per plant. But I want 4 different strains, and the goal would be a quarter pound per plant because I'm terrible with just smoking one thing because I'm not gonna sell nothing. So I don't want to have just one thing. If I was in some type of production, um, maybe that's what I do. Man, that's a good question, Cloudy. I have no idea who's gonna be the next leading LED company because I feel like that shit has shout out to Cloudy Days for the user submitted question right in the middle because you know me, my attention span is I'm gone now. I'm on to the next shit with this question. So the next leading LED company, man, I don't even know. If we gonna be honest, I mean, shit, I heard a lot of good things about what's the old boy name? HLG. I'm not HLG. Whatever dude name is, older white dude, got the scorpion lights. I heard a lot of good things about them. I gotta buy some lights this year. I'm probably gonna buy some optic lights because they do pretty good from what I see for the price. I'm not.
You know,
I'm a
I got
horse
some ideas on that,
buying
man.
lights.
I think Floraflex got a pretty good deal right now. I think I seen they had like a 700 watt light. It was like 300 some odd dollars. I think there's gonna be a lot of different light companies, and I think the lighting pricing is getting a lot lower, closer to what it actually should be. So I can respect that. But that's what I think who's gonna be the leading in lighting. I think it's probably gonna be like Floraflex, somebody like that. Now, in regards to Daniel's comment right above that, where he says Bubba has to rest, now I agree with you on that. I think that's probably like one of the most effective things you can do if you're actually growing year round. I think the best thing you can do is collect all the best trim and C buds and under all them D's, E's, and F's and G's that Django was talking about. I think you save all that up and you watch that at the end of the year. I think that's a real good strategy. Or if you want to make edibles, make edibles.
I think so. That'd be great. But what ends up happening is I do the same shit you said, but I do it throughout at the end of each grow, which is why I just want really 4 strains. So when I press this, I can say, okay, this press like this. Okay, this press like this. And so I can press because usually what I do is a nice mixture because I might do a video one day. My trim is pretty frosty because I take all the leaves off before I even dry it. So everything got trichomes on it. And usually, what I press is gonna be my C buds and my trim together. Um,
So, a couple things, man. Mando says, El Mando 420 says, don't buy email companies that will get you right. Let the motherfuckers know you're independent. That's pretty dope. And Mr. Django says, I have a question. Do you wash your hands before you roll up? Lotions, colognes, etc. And what up, Piff? 1,000.
El Mando says he does. If I'm being 1,000% honest, I do not. Now, with that being said, shit, maybe I should. I never really thought about it like that, honestly.
Man, that's a great question. I would say, and he also has a part 2 to his question as well too. I would say it depends. You know what I'm saying? It depends what I'm doing. I normally will wash my hands after I roll up. A lot of times, before I even go to my jar, like before I'm even going to like my area, you know what I'm saying? I'm doing something. So like for instance, I might be like, yo, I'm gonna take the trash out and do a dab, right? So when I take the trash out, I'm actually gonna wash my hands and then go do the dab. So a lot of times I'm doing some type of activity before I go do the dab, and then when I'm done with the dab, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna go chill the fuck out. As far as rolling up, I always want to get that shit up off your hands. You know what I mean? I'm not a big fan of having dabs on the hands. A couple other things too, man. Depending on who you smoking with. Like, if you smoking with a girl, that's cool. But nigga, I don't want to see. Like I smoke solo a lot. You know what I mean? I don't want to see nobody's chapstick on the end of my joint. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see your slobber on the end of my joint. I don't want to see any of that. So I think when you get to a point, especially when you're a grower and even growing up trees, let's just say you are smoking with someone. Hey man, here's some weed. You roll that up for yourself. I'm gonna roll this up for me. You me? Oh, you can't roll? You want me to roll it up for you? Cool. I just wash my hands. You know what I'm saying? Here you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Like, as long as I'm living normal life, I never really thought about it. If I did something that was just like perceived as gross or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Cool. But usually, if I'm like I'm around the house and I wash dishes and I fuck with plants and did out, man, look, I'm just usually that's why I'm gonna try it, Jank. I want to see if I notice a difference. I never really thought about. Okay, there we go. I never really thought about a nigga breaking down the weed with your hand and shit that you do. I just never thought about it. So it's something good to think about. You know what I'm saying? What up, D Mike?
Man, I think what's different, the biggest difference as far as breaking down the weed ain't just so much as breaking it down with your hand, but I think it's more about the texture or the consistency of which you break it down. Like, you can break that shit down into a fine powder. You can break that bitch down in nice little chunks, nice little budlets if you smoking budlets. You can take your time for every small stem out of that motherfucker. Like I've seen people do all kinds of shit. Take every little small sugar leaf out. Like some people really take the art of rolling to a different level. Or have a different what's the word? They have a different approach to it. So I think it just really depends on who you smoking with. Like for instance, if I'm smoking with a couple people, I'm not just gonna roll one small joint. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably gonna put 2 joints together and roll a couple of those. Show up to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm smoking dab, it's like you gotta do your own dab.
Righteous flew all the way to St. Louis just to smoke and then flew home. The people are like, what? Yeah, I know, right? Crazy.
Well, it wasn't just about that, man. Number one, I was already going somewhere else, and on leaving, it was like, shit, you're gonna have to either take a layover, you gonna either have to do that shit in Dallas Fort Worth, or you're gonna have to do that shit in the Loop. You know what I mean? So my whole thing was like, shit, I might as well kill 2 birds, 1 stone. Man, this nigga be chopping it up all the goddamn time, man, for years. So to me, that shit is kind of weird. Like, not weird. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? We're in the day and age where you can meet a nigga on the net and that nigga could be your homeboy for years and years and years of time, you know what I'm saying? But shit, you might get around a nigga and be like, man, I don't fuck with this nigga. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, hey man, let me stop through smoke with this nigga. We always be smoking digitally. Let's smoke in the real world.
I like my friends digital.
This piss is digital.
Yeah, I met a couple people in real life that I met digitally first. A couple of them motherfuckers actually moved in my city. That was even crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be the crazy part. They digitally moved to my city and proceeded to we didn't talk no more after that. Like, hey man, we were talking more than you.
R.I.P. Steve.
R.I.P. to Steve, man. Straight up. R.I.P. to Steve, man, for sure.
Django said he ate some fries and rolled up. He fucked up his gelato Thomas defrosted. It was horrible. It tasted horrible. Mm-hmm.
Cloudy Day said, I would like to see people smoking good weed. I don't like talking about the negative stuff. Kids be hard. Kids be on hard drugs. Said, hey, you know what? That's true. I got a friend, man, and that nigga's name is not Minimum, but that's his gamer tag, so I just kept calling him Minimum his whole life. Shout out to Dre, his actual real name. How you view that right there, right? Because a lot of people, what I found out, man, is a lot of people only interact with people digitally, right? Like my homeboy just really go to work and come home. So whatever YouTube video he see or whatever he read on the internet, he'll take that to be what it is. I work, man. Tell me about it, man. Though I work with a lot of younger people, so I actually get to talk to a lot of younger people, maybe about 20 or 30, just to get, and it's not a lot, but just to get a small sample size of at least how they thinking and what's going on in my city. At least, man, that should be a lot different than what I think it is, So I separated into two sectors because I have realized that I am now old. So because what a motherfucker smoking is 21 and doing at 21 is gonna be different than what I'm doing at fucking 48, right? So like it's two different sectors. And what I have realized is, to me, I think that a lot of us are transitioning into the older sector, right? They leaving the younger sector and getting into the older sector. So our class of people, we do want the older shit back. Just like I can remember when we was smoking OG, right? I can remember older people saying, oh, where's that? Man, we had chocolate tie. That was just shit. Like the shit always does the same thing as time goes on, right? So we're getting older, and just like these cats under us, when they get older, they shit gonna be like, oh man, I wish I had, man, good cookies, man. And man, anybody had a real white runts, man. That's how they'll be, right? And then they generation to be even young. So like I feel like we in that sector that wants what we was smoking when we was smoking before. You know what I'm saying? Is what I feel. For as the Fent, anything lean and Fent, huh? Say no to lean and Fent. Anything that's synthetic is gonna be fucked up. We're gonna see a lot more synthetic weed too. And people think synthetic weed just look like fake weed. The shit look real, but we're gonna see a lot more synthetic weed, just like we'll see synthetic, because fentanyl is pretty much synthetic heroin for real. Freebie Clementine slush, that sound like it might be good. It sound like it might be Clement. I heard Clementine was pretty good.
Man, look, as far as them kids out there, man, definitely give them the help that they need. We need more community programs and shit like that. But also, I think community programs and education, get their ass something to do. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think a lot of that shit started at home. And I know, shit, if any of y'all got kids, shit, y'all done raised them up already or are currently raising them, and I'm sure y'all instill the proper principles as best as you could. But ultimately, at the end of the day, people are always going to do what they want to do, right? Because at some point, Like all of us could be considered, you know, could have been considered criminal or would have been considered criminal just because we partake in marijuana growing or smoking. So, you always gotta look at that shit from where you're at. Like a lot of people be talking about regulation and doing shit like that. And ultimately, man, when I think about it, I'm like, all that stuff is great, but it's just like, man, motherfuckers gonna do what they want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Regulation or not. So, while all that stuff is good, I think that's just some shit to like really think about. It's always great to be able to grow without having no shit over your head, but at the end of the day, man, do you really care? Is it gonna stop you? Things like that. You know what I mean? If you gonna grow, you gonna grow. Sorry about that tangent. But what I would like to do, man, I did want to get into this topic me and you was chopping it up about yesterday, man. What is the best strain or strains of 2024? And I believe we even have an article in regards to this as well, too. Want to see what they got to say.
All right, but before that, Mando has a question for the chat. When you was a juvenile, where did you meet up with friends? As for me, the juvenile courthouse was a spot to meet up. Other than that, we was all fucked up. Okay, I don't know if you meant. See, because here's the funny thing about me. Now that I'm old, when I was younger, I used to get locked up, and I had a specific set of fucking friends that we would only see each other when we got locked up. When I was like 19, I would get from 19 to because I turned 21 in a halfway house, right? So from really 18 and a half to pretty much 20, I would get locked up every year. Every fucking fall, I would get locked up into the spring. So I missed 4 straight winters, you know what I'm saying? And it was cats in there. His name was Terry, my homeboy. It seemed like we got locked up at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So if you mean that, then yeah. But if you ask me where did we link up with to smoke and do shit, it was my homeboy. We had a homeboy, his mama worked nights, right? And we would always, the whole hood would go to his house, right? And we'd just go over there and smoke and chill because his mama was never fucking there. So that's oh, my boy said the hood corner steps. When I moved in the city, yeah. When I moved in the city, we was just all on the streets with it all around. That's when that shit was like boys in the hood.
Piff said he was meeting niggas at the Pissy Mattress. Pause. Pause. B. But yeah, man. Yeah, that shit's crazy, man. Shit all over the place, man. You might meet a nigga at the youth center. You might meet a nigga at school on the school bus. You might meet a nigga at the corner store. You know what I'm saying? You might meet a nigga anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Link up with a nigga. You might meet a nigga, especially at the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? I remember that was a thing. Everybody was a hooper, trying to be a hooper in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Even the right or wrong. You just it. Mean shots.
Well, I actually don't have a corresponding article for that, but I do.
Here you do this from Leafly.
No, I don't. No basketball. Oh, the basketball. Yeah, I just looked. I don't have anything. But while you send it to me again, we can talk about this. Has anybody heard of Shiba skunk? It's supposed to be one of the world's most potent indica strains right here. Give a little bit of background. Shiba skunk is widely believed to be the most powerful of skunks and one of the most potent indica strains in the world. This Dutch mega hybrid combines Northern Lights number 5 and skunk number 1. Pause. So these cats always, again, everything goes back to Northern Lights and skunk 1. You see what I'm saying? All this old shit. That's what I know is everything started with Northern Lights 5 and skunk number 1. Now, for me, again, it's just me coming into the game, pretty much doing a cookie era, like for real. Like that's when I was growing before that, but that's when my shit was good enough for somebody else to actually want it. This is just me personally. Now, it's just a personal opinion and what I had. Me coming into it, growing into the cookie era, I always looked at Northern Lights and Skunk number one, like, man, I don't want that old shit. Let me grow some of this newer shit, because, you know, hey, I ain't never seen this, I ain't never seen that, right?
I wouldn't say that.
No, I'm talking about me.
And I really don't think you would say that either.
No, I'm telling you what I did say. This is what when I started growing and got good, I'm like, yo, I don't want no Northern Lights number. I don't want no Northern Lights. I don't want no Skunk. I don't want no motherfucking Haze. Even when you gave me that cheese, I'm like, nigga, I don't want none of that. You was like, have you had a really good cheese? No, nigga, I haven't. I haven't had none of that old shit and don't want none of it.
Look,
that was
man,
always how I was in the beginning.
I'm about to prove you wrong. And this ain't about a wrong. Matter of fact, let me take that back. It's not about proving you wrong. Let me refresh your memory.
Mm-hmm.
Gigabud is Big Bud times Northern Lights.
Right. And let me refresh your memory.
We was fucking with that Gigabud.
Yeah, but again, let me refresh your memory. You gave me Gigabud. So you gave me a lot of shit that I grew. So when we talking about shit that I actually wanted to grow, you know me, I'm gonna grow anything that somebody give me, my guy. Nigga, give me Blue Dream, I'm still gonna grow it at least one time, even though I hate Blue Dream, right? So what I was talking about,
stop the cap.
Nah, I will grow it one time for sure, just to see. Hey man, maybe if I grow it this way, it won't be like this. I will grow it one time, but I never was looking for anything that had none of that shit in it. That's what I'm talking about. You know, from us talking, man, I don't want none of that old shit. Well, now that I've grown a little bit in the game and I know what comes from what, right? And I know what it is. Hey, now it's like, okay, I understand Northern Lights 5 isn't bullshit. Because y'all got to remember, well, y'all don't got to remember, y'all got to understand, I'm in the middle of the fucking country in St. Louis, so we weren't fucking legal with anything. So only weed names I'm hearing about is the shit that's in the media and the shit that rappers is rapping about. And honestly, hey, that's what the fuck I wanted to try, because we didn't have no dispensaries. We didn't have none of that shit. It ain't finna be no Khalifa Kush in this motherfucker, because we don't have that here. And quite frankly, the so-called plugs that we got, it ain't enough real plugs that's gonna get you anything real that you can request. You just finna get whatever the fuck they get. So my first mission, hey man, I want to grow everything I heard these rappers rapping about, because they say it's so tight. Now what happened? Hey man, I grew through a lot of that shit that I had heard of and a lot of them crosses, and man, that shit was cool. Wasn't bad. I liked a lot of it. Now it's like, knowing what I know about weed, hey, maybe I might want to go back and see. Maybe because the person I got that Northern Lights like 5 from, yeah, they didn't grow it that well, right? And gave it a bad name, maybe because, again, I never got no Northern Lights from a dispensary, right? Never have. I've got Skunk number 1 before, and that shit actually is skunky, but I've never got no Northern Lights because I always was like, nah, I don't want that shit. And I was tripping for sure, Pill. But again, I was a newer grower, so I didn't give a fuck about none of that. G13, I ran into that first because of Rusty Shackelford. You know what I'm saying? Nah, no capping. That's really how I was. You know what I'm saying? I did grow some haze before, but yeah, I wasn't trying to grow none of that shit. But I feel like somebody has crossed Northern Lights 5 and Skunk number 1, or Northern Lights and Skunk before. So it's kind of hard for me to believe that, yo, this is the world's strongest strain. And it's like, according to who? But anyway, they say that the smell, true to its name, smells dank and skunky with fruity citrus undertones rounded out by a sweet, spicy finish. That sounds like a lot of old school shit. So Sheba Skunk is reportedly good for treating insomnia and provides potent pain relief. Now again, because I read this, now I'll be like, let me see what's up with this Sheba Skunk. Never heard of it. Let me just see. That don't mean I'm finna go pay $200 for it. You know what I'm saying? But it would mean that I would be interested. And this way,
it's not too many strains that I can even think of that I would ever spend $200.
It says delicious bag appeal and a notably fast finishing time of 7 to 8 weeks. Interesting. This next part don't interest me. Sheba skunk is a commercially viable strain that's easy to come by in most medical marijuana markets. That's the next thing. Even shit that's good, if it's always there, I mean, there's no exclusivity because it's always there. That's the part that I don't like about it.
I would spend $200 on seeds, but there's no one strain I would spend $200 on. It's just not happening. Just not happening.
Now, to your point, America Bud Tender's best strains of 2024. Now, before I scroll down,
I was about to say, man, before you scroll down, man, what's your favorite strain of 2024?
Now, I wonder, does it have to be, if it's a strain that has to be created in 2024? I honestly don't even fucking know, because I'm not.
You don't know when certain strains are created. You only know when they come out.
Me, my favorite strain that I've smoked in 2024, even out of the shit that I've made, man, for real, is Dulce Lotto. Now, I know everybody, or maybe it's called Delato. It just depends on who's naming it. But the Dulce Lotto that I had was excellent. Now, the point that I make is this. I don't go to the dispensary often, so I've only had that shit 3 times this year, and I probably had it like 2 times last year. But it's very, very good. My thought process is, because I don't have it often, it's probably why I enjoy it quite as much as I do. It don't feel like it's like no better than anything else. It's just got a flavor profile that I really, really, really enjoy.
Okay, Delato. Y'all heard it here first. Chosen's pick for 2024 is Delato. Look, man, my favorite, and I can't even lie to you, we talked about this the other day, right? I don't really buy a lot of weed from the dispensary, and when I do, it's not really that good. And I've said this shit before. I don't really only go to the dispensary for dabs. That should be pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of, now, your head.
Exactly. Dabbing away myself right now, buddy. Now, in regards to what my favorite strain is, it's actually something that I made, but I think it's my favorite strain, and it's the worst strain of 2024 all in one breath, right? Now, most of the weed I've smoked this year has been my weed, right? So I just got to keep the shit 100. Close, solid runner-up. I'm going to give you my top 1, 2, and 3. Number 3 is going to be Tommy Gun Honey Bun. And the reason why that one was one of my favorite, I actually really enjoyed the taste and enjoyed the high. It was a really good overall strain. It wasn't super fruity or anything like that, but it was pretty good. Can't front, it was pretty good. My second favorite one is CC. And the reason why CC is my second favorite strain is, one, the smoke was pretty good on it. The high was really good on it. And the growth on it was really, really nice. A lot of people liked it. And that would be number 4. The reason why is because a lot of people really enjoyed it. I've seen a lot more people growing CC than I've seen growing Tommy Gun Honey Bun. And one of the valuable parts of any of the strains that we create are not just how we feel about it. That's why we make them for us, but we still want to know the value of, like, if you like it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, like, to me, it's dope. The Emu to Life said earlier, hey, man, I'm smoking a joint of the CC. You know what I'm saying? So I thought that shit was pretty dope. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. So, now, number 1, my favorite strain this year, like I said, I think it's the best strain and the worst strain, is going to be KJ. Now, look here, man. KJ is some fuckery. It's some fuckery. All kind of fucked up shit be happening with that strain. I know, in my mind, like, it's probably the worst strain that I made, and I will not feel right about it until I at least F2 it. But I would at least F2 it because the one KJ that I had that was right, to me, that bitch was smoking excellently. You know what I'm saying? Excellent. And KJ is one of them strains, man. I even had to take it down. Like I won't even sell it. You know what I'm saying? I know Sci-Fi won that shit in the giveaway. I sent that shit to Sci-Fi, man. I wrote on the pack, man. Pop at your own risk. Cause hey, I already know what's gonna happen. I seen what happened to Chowak. I seen what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? I seen what happened to a couple other people. So at that point, I was like, "Yep, nope, get rid of this motherfucker." But the one that I did have that grew properly, had no issues. I felt like the smoke on that bitch was really nice. It hit hard. It was very gassy. It was very narcotic. And it's definitely one of them ones that was just worth a R2. You know what I'm saying?
I got two side questions for you. First one is, if you would have had a clone of the one that you liked, even though everything else was fucked up, would you have used said clone and breed something else with it? And part two of
No.
the question is, would you have used said clone to reverse to itself?
Yes. No, I would have either reversed it. Now, one or two things would have happened. I either would have reversed it, that pheno to itself, or I would have found another pheno that was not doing what the other phenos was doing. Like, hey man, you ran that motherfucker. Nice big ass buzz, big ass plant, but shit, big ass nuts. And go with it.
That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
saying?
So
Pause.
you would take it back across itself in hopes of stabilizing. I'm guessing.
Correct.
But what I'm thinking,
Stabilizing it.
what's the difference between you taking that back by itself or taking it to another plant that's already stable? Like, what would be the difference?
Well, the
Probably
reason why,
green, right?
potentially, or shit you might fuck around and run the other plant. And here's my whole thing. My only purpose would be to stabilize it for it to have a better representation of its own self. You see what I'm saying? But I wouldn't look to breed with it. I would only want to capture that one pheno in KJ and present that as, you know, and honestly, with the way that motherfucker was going, I feel like that bitch would actually have to go to like R3, R4. Like that bitch really needs some serious work because I wouldn't want to put another strain out there that does what that does. And if I am going to try to isolate the best out of it, then I have to be sure. And one of the things that people have said that they experience when you get to like R3, F3, you know, that shit can be completely different than your F2, which can be completely different than your F1, you know, so I would want to really sit back and look at it to make sure that, hey man, just because this shit is good in F2 doesn't mean it doesn't revert back to whatever it was doing in F1 and F3. You see what I'm saying?
I do.
But I would honestly say that was my favorite strain of the year. And the reason why is because that motherfucker got a story to it. It's a painful strain to talk about, but it's also like enjoyable as well too to talk about. Because the oddity surrounding the one that was so fucking good versus all the ones that was fucking not good. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now that's not to say there aren't better weeds out there, but it's just my favorite of this year. I'm surprised you didn't say the Arnold Drummond number 4.
I mean, here's the thing with that, right? I do like it a lot. I don't want to be prisoner of the moment, right? And I just really started smoking the Arnold Drummond, really getting into it like the last like 3 months or so. Now, what happens to me is it might not happen to everybody else like this, but the longer I smoke something, well, I don't give a fuck. Like if I had Doscilato half the year, I wouldn't feel the same way about it because I've had it half the year. Is I know I'm like that. So I'm probably not gonna say really none of the shit I got because I don't want to really be a prisoner of the moment type shit. And the fact that I grow a lot of only my shit, I like to stack that shit up against some shit that ain't my shit because I mean it's my shit, so I know what I use and I know what I use is good. So most of the shit I do like a lot, but I don't pick it because man, I'm gonna be smoking that shit again in a minute. It's gonna be great and everything's gonna be fire with it. But the Doscilato, I don't get a lot. So I would like to have that to grow it. And maybe if I had it half a year, I feel different. It ain't no better than nothing I got. It's just the flavor profile that I like, and I just don't have that particular profile over here. A lot of my shit is a lot of candies and then gas. So a lot of shit that is candy, but it hit like gas. Like I told you, dog, I got some shit over here that smell like fucking burnt fucking rubber. But it tastes like citrus, fucking a citrus bowl. It don't taste shit like how it smells.
Man, those are always the interesting ones, man.
And it would say, let me drop the link for boom, there you go. There you go, Pip, there's a link. And it would say his is Frozen OG.
By Square One Genetics.
Then number 2, Crash or Punch. Number 3, O Miller. Number 4, Donkey Kong. Number 5, Fruit Bowl.
Hey, look, man, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. I don't even know if you just saying that shit just to be saying it, because I know niggas grow a lot of shit, and I believe you saying what you mean. But shit, man, appreciate you, homie. I know Chosen feel the same way. To be mentioned up there with these motherfuckers, these people who are the larger, well-known people, it's nice just to be even recognized.
For sure, because I feel like for me, I don't really got no. It's kind of like people saying, I really don't got no number one best. It's kind of like a pool. All I ever wanted to do with my shit is I wanted it to be able to stand tall. Just it ain't even got to be the best, but it got to be able to play ball with the rest of the shit. And I appreciate it. Apparently, nigga, my shit can play ball. So, and that ain't just what I think, because I always think shit like that. But it's nice to other people.
Exactly.
I go to the link.
I seen shout out to Django, man. Shout out to Pip. Shout out to Eno. Shout out to everybody who ran. Man, shout out to everybody, period. But you already know, man. Shout out to y'all specifically. Y'all had some really nice pictures, man. Really nice pictures, and shit, man. Appreciate y'all for running my shit.
And Django, that's how I am. I can't remember everything I had either, so I can only remember a couple things that stuck out. Right.
El Mando says Topanga. That shit has that sour taste. I love that shit.
Yeah, it's funny because that sour taste I used to call meat. Rotted meat. That's so funny. I never forget that. But
man, shouts out to Topanga.
Shouts out to Topanga. Let's get Pip the solo layout. Turn your camera sideways. There we go. You have the floor, my friend. If you want to talk. But if you don't want to talk, we'll let the plants talk for themselves.
No, I can't hear him, but I believe he's under that optic.
I can't hear him.
Look like he's in a 3x3.
I'm in a 2x4, man. I'm in a 2x4 under the optic. 3 plants. Cocoa, 2 gallons.
Is that the reusable scrog that connect on the sides and shit?
Yeah.
Well, I guess electrical.
How you like that? Because I had one of them before.
It looks like it's electrical. Elastic.
Shut your ass up.
This is my first time using the motherfucker though, bro.
I like them. The hard part for me, when I came across them, is getting the plants out. Because if you got your scrog super low, it's like, damn, now I just got to cut all the tops of my plant and then slide that shit up. And I like whole plant hangs.
Yeah, I was thinking about that, but I know these ones super stretched. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I couldn't deal with that stretch. So I spread them out as much as I could, try to stop it.
Look good though.
I only got so much. You know what I mean? They ain't really go up no more.
What you got in there, man? Tell us what you got in there, man.
This is guava number 1 right here. No, guava number 2 on this left side.
No, the guava number 2 went stupid for you last one, right?
No, number 1. That one.
The number 1. Okay.
What's the difference you noticing in between the number 1 and the number 2?
Number 1 got a blue terp, some type of blue candy terp on this one.
Okay.
And this one is more gas over here. but I never smelt it or tasted nothing like this. So it was weird to me. You know what I mean? I'm like, what is this?
Oh shit! You got to turn your camera. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
And this is banana juice in the middle.
Everything looking pretty nice in there, especially for the 2x4. I know for me the hardest thing is keeping an even canopy, and you got a 1 or 2 runners, but for the most part, it's looking pretty even.
Man, that shit pretty even, man. Looks good, bro.
See Sir Charles hanging out in the background. That face, nigga, that fucking face. That nigga, look, when you open your tent, that's the first thing you see is that face.
Yeah, they doing good, man. Week 3, man.
Week 3, yeah,
nice.
Real good for week 3.
I ain't really defoliated. I'm just taking whatever's on top of each other. If I see a problem, I'm removing it. But other than that, I'm really not stripping them naked or none of that crazy shit.
I just tried to be normal like that, and it ain't bad actually when you normal. It ain't bad.
It ain't bad.
No, it ain't.
We got some people in the chat with some fire emojis. They say it's looking good in their fifth.
Well, let me jump down. Somebody else might want to show their shit.
No one wants
Maybe
on here, man.
Maybe.
But the link is there if they want to.
All right, y'all. I see y'all in the chat, man.
You already know. Appreciate
shout out to the fifth.
jumping on.
Yep.
He said his shit will never be even. He gave up on the level canopy. That's how I am, Django. Even when that 4x4 I started out looking. Wait a minute. Let me exit solo layout. Boom. That 4x4 I started out with, man, it started out looking so good and even. And I don't know how Cherry Poppins get his shit 100% even like that. And it's not just because he's doing the same thing, because I've seen him do that where he got 3 different strains in the tent. And man, that shit be just be so even. My shit do not be like, y'all gonna see in this next video with this 4x4, y'all gonna be like, God damn, what happened? It was so pretty before. Yeah, shit just had a mind of its own. Now, as you can see, the American Bud Tender's choice. Let's see what they said. Damn, Thanksgiving? This was November 22nd, huh? Just in time for Thanksgiving, the holiday season. We have your best buds and flower brands. Leafly Nation. How do we know? Easy. In fall 2024, we enticed over 900 bud tenders to pick the best weed strain and brand in their state. When they point out smoke, you can bet that it is fire, right? Because
now, really quick,
they wouldn't lie at all.
Yeah, now that's what I was going to ask you, man. Now, you've been to the dispensary, so I think it's a fair question to ask you. I also think it's a fair question to ask the chat. If you've been to the dispensary, do you value the opinion of the bud tenders? And if so, how much?
Okay. And this is a great question for me. I went to the dispensary when we first had the dispensary here, right? Our first dispensary, I jumped down day 1. Here's what I found out. If you wasn't a grower, right? If you wasn't a grower or hadn't been previously growing weed, you didn't know shit about weed. So I can't trust your opinion, because for the first year we had dispensaries, I was walking in the dispensary knowing more than them. Now, if I was to go to Arizona or California, I would value their opinion a little bit more, because those people that have been, dispensaries have been around for decades, right? So they're gonna know a little bit more. They're gonna be a little bit more refined than somebody or a state that just came online, because a lot of people that work in the dispensaries, unfortunately, do not home grow. So they really don't know anything. They coming into it just like how I was before I started growing. You just going by what you hear and what they say. You don't get that real opinion until you've grown and you smoke a considerable amount of marijuana. Then I can say what's best. You right? But if I ain't never smoked OG Kush, and you give me an OG Kush cross and tell me it's OG Kush, and then I smoked a real OG Kush, well, I'm only gonna know that if I done smoked a considerable amount of weed, right? You gotta smoke a lot of weed to be able to tell the difference of what you fucking smoking. Just like right now, I can smoke a lot of this shit that they got floating around in my job and be like, yeah, that's gelato. But them cats haven't, right? They'll call that shit Zao or whatever the fuck else they call it. But it's like, nah, it's gelato, bro. So I think it's like that when you got experience. So in my city, no, I would not really trust their judgment like that at all. But in your city, or in California, or anywhere on the West Coast, I would trust their opinion a lot more. Cause yeah, Django, I do test my bud tender and they be funking like a motherfucker.
Man, and see, here's the thing. This is what I would say. I would say for others, maybe they should trust them, but for me, I don't trust them, right? And the reason why is because the shit that I like is the shit that I like, and the shit that you like is the shit that you like. So I never get that shit confused in regards to palate and motherfucking preference. You know what I mean? So like one of the strains that's actually on here, one of the companies that's on this list, and this ain't throwing no shade at them, I don't actually particularly find they bud enjoyable, but it's one of the top strains of 2024. See what I'm saying? And I've smoked it, and it wasn't that good. It's actually one of the things I talked about several shows ago when I talk about this particular company, and they motherfucking shit don't burn right. It don't burn even. The shit look fucking absolutely amazing. That shit'll be like frosties looking shit, but that shit don't smoke good. Therefore, the weed is not good.
And I think when you're looking at these things, this is what Guido bring up. He meant to say, never been to a dispensary. I never been to a dispensary. The streets pick the pheno around her. I think it's a completely different question when you actually, who you asking? You're asking people that in a legal market. It's a lot of people that ain't in a legal market. And it's a lot of people who just came into a legal market and a legal market fucking suck. You know, it's a lot of people, the shit is different. So like, who you ask this question to is going to determine the answer you get. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers might be telling you the same strain is renamed. Who the fuck even knows? Because we are growers and we know how shit go. I have heard, and I ain't gonna say no, and I heard everybody do it, nigga, except for maybe me or you. Everybody, I've heard everybody, anybody that sells weed on any type of level, dog, yeah, they all do it. Nigga will tell you whatever he need to tell you in order for that shit to sell. I've heard everybody say it at least once. Shit, they're looking for this shit is whatever they want it to be. I've heard everyone say that at least once. So knowing that even people that give a fuck about what they grow have said that at least once, what you think the motherfuckers who don't give a fuck about that shit say, right? So it's hard to tell, right? It's gonna get convoluted. You know what I'm saying?
Man, and here's the thing too, man. A lot of times, you know, you gotta think, man, what lens is the bud tender coming from? Because hey, just because you're a bud tender don't mean that you smoke. Just like if you're a bartender don't mean that you drink.
Yeah.
Like your perception just might only be based off of what moves the most or what shit catches your eye. But you know what I'm saying? Like for me, once again, I found that a lot of the tree is subpar, and instead of smoking that shit, I smoked the house brand when I was buying flower. Because hey, man, this shit's just as good. You know what I'm saying? So I just bought an ounce of this shit for $80, and it actually smokes just as good. Now all this shit smoke up fast. You know what I'm saying? But it smoked just as good to me.
But see though, Piff and Guido, it's kind of like a dog eating his tail, right? Because yeah, Guido like, I sure will do that shit, and then Piff like, that's why the game fucked up. And yeah, that's both true. That it's two things to me that can be true, because I did it back when I first started growing, when I was trying to sell weed and was selling weed like that way back like 7-8 years ago and shit. Yeah, I'm like, nigga, whatever I buy, whatever bag I buy, that's what this shit is, because that's how the game is, right? When you just selling. But what happens is motherfuckers start giving a fuck. And I'm gonna be honest, I really, really, really started giving a fuck once I started breeding, because that's when I understood like what it really means to take somebody's shit and just name it what the fuck ever. Because it's either gonna be better or worse than what it actually is, and it don't help nobody if it is better or worse. Because if it's better and they go try to find that shit, they ain't gonna find it. If it's worse, when they do find a good shit, they're gonna be like, I don't want that shit. So like, Motherfuckers don't want to do that, but at the same time, when you out here and you trying to make some money, it's like, nigga, you damn near gotta do that shit. Cause again, motherfuckers is going off of names and I want Shark Lotto and I want, you want Shark Lotto, huh? You ain't never had that shit? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, this Shark Lotto. Fuck it. Right? I get that. I've been there before. You know what I'm saying? I've been there before. Right? It ain't like that now. I don't sell weed, right?
And here's the other thing.
And I just grow for me, so it's different now.
This is the biggest thing that I took from what Guido said about the streets picking the females, which I can respect, but at the same time, man, it really just depends. If you just an average smoker, like you a nigga buying the bag, you buying what a nigga got in the bag. A lot of times it ain't, oh, let's talk about what kind of weed this is. You buy it, you smoke it, you like it, you buy some more. You know what I'm saying?
And man, these niggas shit come like Christmas presents now, man. You get a 3.5, man. You gotta unwrap a whole box, nigga. Then inside the box, nigga, give you some weird nutritional value shit. You open that shit up. Oh, this shit look like a DVD. Then you open up that, man. Look, you got so much trash left over from a fucking 3.5 these days when you buy that shit, dog. That shit is like buying a motherfucking whole ass toy or action figure, nigga. It's so much packaging, and it's like
unless your homeboy got the tree, is get it and go. Like, man, I'm not sitting around your trap trying to see exactly. No, we gonna get it if that shit available to look at. Look at it. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, that's what they give you. They just be like, let me get 3.5. And they just give it to you. Now on your ride home, you got something to read and look at, and you got to unwrap this shit.
Yeah, that's how that shit is, man.
Fuck out of here,
You're absolutely correct, man.
Why's my weed in a shoebox? Oh man, it's that Nike weed. You got to unwrap the motherfucking shoebox, nigga. Then you open up the shoebox, nigga. It's another pack in there that look like a shoe. You unzip the shoe, nigga, and then that's where your weed at. You be like, damn, nigga. This shit's nice, but what I'm gonna do with all this bullshit?
I opened up the bag and it was a set of laces. That's right, the laces are the weed. Just smoke the laces, man. Don't worry.
Hey man, it should be too much.
Trust me.
That part be too much, dog. It's like, can we just get back to where the packaging game is going to astronomical levels that I feel like it shouldn't be going to? You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell y'all what's so funny, right? I'm over here high. I know my dog high. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is funny to me. Hey, man, we ain't even got into the strange yet, man. It's been 15 minutes. That shit is hilarious to me. You know what I'm saying? We over here laughing, talking shit about all this shit. Until they made not even the first motherfucking strange.
Yo, I got time, baby. I'm back, nigga. I'm back.
No. I'm cool too. Baby. I got time too. I ain't tripping. You know what I'm saying? We do what we gotta do. Because this is the last show before the new year.
Color book on the back with the toy inside. Yeah, niggas getting Happy Meals. You know, niggas get the whole ass Happy Meals for a 3.5, bro. Like, that shit crazy. You know what I'm saying? That shit
come with a coupon at Denny's.
Man, you hear me? If I come with a free gold.
At your local
golden coin is on the inside, nigga. If you enjoy after you smoke your weed, dog.
Motherfuckers, a Cracker Jack box come with a gold, a fucking army figuring in that bitch. Little army man come in your pack. That shit called G.I. Joe OG.
And somebody gonna do that shit now. Okay. Overview of Leafly's Bud Tender's Choice for 2024 strains and brands. Before I scroll down, they're gonna do a state breakdown, right? And then they're gonna tell you what your state said based on the legal sales in your state. So I'm guessing if your ass stay in a state that ain't legal, they don't think you matter. Hey man, we ain't got no way to track that shit, so you guys don't matter.
Look, they got a couple different things there. They got strain and brand.
So in Arizona, cool. the Bud Tender's Choice, the Bud Tenders, right? Permanent Marker
is the best strain.
Is the best strain.
I severely disagree. That shit was horrible.
The best flower brand is Alien Labs.
Completely disagree. My opinion.
Okay, in California, the Bud Tender said Permanent Marker from various people. And the flower brand was Cannabiotics. Feel free to chime in if you are from any of these places, because when we fucking see Missouri, you already know I'm gonna let y'all know what it is. Kimmy Jones, Green Dot Labs, Never even heard of that. Bubba's Girl. I see Collective. Devil Driver. I heard of that Jar Company. Kim D. Smash Hits.
You skip Maryland.
Snoop Dogg OG. What the fuck? Oh my god. We're gonna click on some of these and see what the fuck this shit actually is.
Hold on. And then the Jar Company is one of the best. Grams, and then Sunmed in Maryland is another good, is the top brand. And for Massachusetts, Smash Hits is the top brand. I think we had Michigan.
That didn't last be dry as fuck, my boys say. Candy Cake. Grown Rogue. Zope. Them niggas in Mississippi like the Zope. Sea of Green, South. Kumquat. I actually have heard of Kumquat. I actually have smoked some of Good Day Farm shit. I haven't actually smoked Kumquat because I don't remember what it was, but I remember looking at it and it was better shit that was there crosswise, because how I shop for my weed is I look at what the crosses are, and that makes me determine if I'm going to fuck with the weed or not. And I don't think I like what that cross was. But in New Jersey, you niggas like Animal Face from Green Gardens is going to be number one producer. Meanwhile, y'all brethren in New York likes Trop Cherry. I like Trop Cherry too. That was another good one that was real good for me, Trop Cherry, actually. But I think that was 2023 for me, not 2024. Maybe 2022. I did like it, though. Ohio, Orange, 43. Clutch Cannabis. I wonder, are they related to Clutch Sports? What if they was, nigga?
It's in Ohio.
LeBron knows weed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bro. That's one of the tightest names I've heard in a long time. Right? To me, what? Kitchen fucking sink, nigga. Kitchen sink. That's tight, nigga. Something that's stupid, nigga. And it's tight because it's stupid. That seemed like some shit I would say. What you smoking on? Shit, nigga. The kitchen sink. D&D Nursery. Damn, that's a nice name too. Toad Venom. Toad Venom. Deep Creek Gardens. We coming in with another Animal Face. Right, which is Rhythm. So now we only got 2 strains that's been multiple so far. Pretty much.
See, number one, look here. El Mando agree with, well, I don't know if he agrees that the weed ain't that good. But Alien Labs be dry as fuck, and they be wanting $70 for an eighth. I tell you, that shit is not good. And then Piff said, the shit on the top shelf $80, and then it drops by shelf, but it's all the same. That's partially true. That shit might be depending on when the batch was opened up. Hey man, we had this batch for a month over here. You can get this shit for $40. But that Alien Labs do be dry as fuck. And then Django says Kumquat times Slimer. So I'm assuming that's pretty good.
He says soon we'll see Bathwater OG. That's funny, Cloudy Days. But when I heard Kitchen Sink, for me, maybe it's because I'm just a goofy motherfucker. I just thought about hitting with everything, nigga, everything except the kitchen sink. I just thought,
hey man, this is a fire poly hybrid. We don't know what to call it.
Kumquat and Slimer. Yeah, I feel like it's politics. Let's click and see what some of this shit, because Permanent Marker, right, was the only one that was mentioned multiple times, and Animal Face.
Hold on, let's finish the list real quick before we click on them. We finished. No, we didn't do Vermont and Washington, do we?
Grape GMO. That sounds kind of nice though. Upstate Elevator Operators. One Piece. That shit and Heavenly. One Piece. Look. Is that gonna be like the anime? What is One Piece? That's one piece, huh?
Nah. Here's the thing about when you go on these dispensaries, especially Leafly, because this is where I do order from. Those pictures are never accurate. They just motherfucking just regular ass fucking. You know what I'm saying? Stock photos damn near. No, like the fucking vape shit. That should be right, but.
Formula One. I can't even see what I want to.
That shit don't appear to show up.
Yeah, they want you to buy shit. I want them to.
You trying to get some information.
Yeah, and that's why
you gotta find the one to say One Piece, though. That's the problem. They'll have it on there, but you gotta find the one to say One Piece.
Yeah, I just want something quick.
Click on the permanent marker one.
I mean, I think we know what permanent marker is. Frozen cake.
Don't even got that shit on there. I just wanted to see if it's gonna actually take you to the strain.
Lazy Susan. Man, that ain't got nothing to do. Fuck you, Leafly. See, I can't believe y'all. I can't even fuck with y'all site.
Yeah, man, I don't think they was expecting people to click on it and actually go. Cause look, it just say show near. It just show your location. That's it.
But don't make clickable fucking links. On another note, I have used those Lazy Susan papers. They are not bad, actually. It was something else that I did want to talk about too, because we all have heard about it. Yeah, Mando say, type on a new drug czar in 2025. Trump wants to appoint her. If anything, they'll do the shit like alcohol, right? This the point that I've gone to. And two, because I'm not in the game nowhere near how I was. So to be quite honest, certain things that did matter so much don't matter that much to me no more. But what they're to me, no matter who the drug czar is or what's going on, they really just finna water down the shit so much to the point to where ain't nobody gonna really make no money off of it like that, and they gonna make the shit like what they're gonna do it just like they did alcohol. It's not gonna be the same way, but it'll be the same type. Like ain't nobody really selling 6 packs of beer out of their garage, right? And if they are, it ain't no money there. It's just literally like craft. The good thing is, just like alcohol, I believe it'll be people, if they want to get good enough and play the game, it will be big corporations looking for closet growers, so to speak, like us, with the next biggest thing, just like they do with alcohol. So I think that we'll go to a point to where it'll be like whatever that show is, Shark Tank, right? Niggas will just be going to the companies. Niggas will be going to heavily connected. Hey man, what you got going on over there? That looks nice. That's what. It will make you a deal for that. You know, that's why I think we going with the shit. But as far as people trapping on the corner and shit, that shit gonna always be there. But I bet they thought that it was always gonna be there with alcohol too. You know what I'm saying? So like, no, I do think that shit's gonna dry up after a while. I think corner people are gonna be replaced with growers, and it ain't gonna be that many of us. Right, because you're gonna be able to go into the liquor store and buy a pack of this or a pack of that. It's gonna be so fucking cheap.
Yeah,
just like alcohol.
It's gonna be a quality. So much about quality. It's gonna be just more about mass production. Because that shit is really gonna become corporate.
Yeah, because it's like moonshine. People will say moonshine is way better and stronger than regular alcohol that motherfuckers buy in the store. But ain't nobody looking for no fucking moonshine to drink on a regular, right? So I think that not with us, but over time, to get watered down just like that. It ain't gonna affect us like that. But like say my kids are possibly my kids, for sure my kids. Like it was a point in time where everybody drank moonshine and everything was different. And then over time that shit, if they was alive right now, they'll be like, man, this ain't even alcohol for real. Like, you seen moonshiners, they'll be like, man, the shit that we make, yeah, this shit fire what we make, nigga. That shit in the store is not it. So I think it'll come to a point like that. It'll always be a spot for us, but it'd be just like, you know, that Moonshiner show, but with weed. That's just what I think. Hold on, give me 1 second. We do got one more topic because I do want to touch on and we might have more than I don't know what the fuck he got, but I know I want to touch on I want to actually read this article, right? Because I want to actually discuss the fucking men dying after using this bat guano shit, right? I gotta talk about that because I be believing some of that is bullshit. But I gotta go. I know I gotta I gotta do something real quick. So I'll just talk for a second. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. My buddy doing what he gotta do, man. But shit, man, 2025, man. It's right around the corner, man. That's the last on the streaming of 2024. Another thing we was talking about, me and Cho up the other day, man. I only got one grow off this year, man. That shit was crazy. Only got one. I mean, I harvested 2 tanks, but it was one grow. You know what I'm saying? And of that, I ran some lasagna, some KJ, Tommy Gun, Honey Bun. I ran a Black G strain, or a strain that I got from Black G. I believe it was supposed to be a Jungle Boys cross. I don't remember the name of it. Pretty decent. And then I ran the Toasted Ravioli from Cho-Wop. And Toasted Ravioli was pretty good, man. I had two phenols. I had 2 different seeds, 2 different phenols. One was short, had a really nice smell on it. But the other one had a better high.
Can you die from that guano?
So we're going to see if we can get another run or get some runs off in 2025.
You better, nigga. Yeah. I hope you do.
Shit, man. It'd be nice to see. We got to see what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? We got to figure out what we getting ready to do, man. We might be trying to do something completely different as well. So,
man. The game needs you back, man. Game needs you back. Yes, guano killed these guys. Let's find out. I'm gonna read too. It's gonna be story. You know what?
Yeah, let's knock it out real quick.
That's what it's gonna be.
All right, let's go.
All right, because I was looking this shit over myself. Damn. 2 men from New York. This is just because this article is every fucking word. Right, but here we go. 2 men from New York died from pneumonia they contracted from bat feces after they used the excrement as fertilizer to grow marijuana, a new study found. Damn. Okay. The unidentified men from Rochester, ages 64 and 59, smoked pot that had been tainted with a fungus found in the bat droppings known as guano that caused fatal lung infections, according to a study published in Open Forum Infectious Disease earlier this month. Their deaths were not connected to each other, which the researchers said highlights a growing trend of using bat waste to produce marijuana since the drug has been legalized.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No boys.
Their deaths were not connected to each other, right? Which the researchers said highlights a growing trend of using bat waste to produce marijuana since the drug has been legalized. That's why I hit stop the cap. So you mean to tell me, nigga, bat guano sales have blown the fuck up since we've been legalized? Because everybody and their mama is using bat shit. Because like I don't even use guano. I know a lot of motherfuckers that grow it don't even use that shit.
Man, I think that you can find that on the labels, depending on where you buy your weed at, especially if it's at a dispensary. But here's the other thing that I think is very interesting are these home growers, because this just highlights to me that while, you know what I'm saying, I would much rather smoke some homegrown. It really just depends who the homegrown, whose home it was grown in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to smoke everybody's homegrown. Because
They
you
say-
use bat guano.
Here's the first thing. Here's what no one does. The 64-year-old had harvested a thick layer of guano in his attic, where he had a heavy bat infestation, to fertilize his plants. Who the fuck just says, you know what? I'm growing weed, and I got fucking bats in the attic, right? I ain't even finna buy bat guano, nigga. I got bats in the attic, nigga. I'm just gonna harvest that bat shit myself, nigga. Fuck buying it, nigga. That's a great idea. I'm just gonna use these. And how many bats did he fucking have? Like, bro, it's just so many red flags with this article.
So
How
many
many bats
questions.
did he have, nigga, in his attic to where he was getting enough bat shit to where he can even see the bat shit to even corral it? Because I would imagine bats ain't very big. So I mean, it's just like rat turds to me. So you just gathering all that, you just sweeping that shit up. Like, you got that many bats, and the bats ain't fucking with you at all. They just let you just sweep up their shit. They ain't fucking with you. You just up there. They your pets. I don't even believe that.
Deeper
Right.
story: Mexican fentanyl bats. Those bats had recently migrated from Mexico and had got into a large batch of fentanyl guilds. Because that's how they
The
do it.
guano contained a potentially deadly fungus called Histoplasma capsulatum, which is
Ouch.
native to the eastern half of the U.S. and is typically transmitted by breathing in the fungal spores, although it can be ingested through the mouth. Time out right there. So what this article is really saying so far is, dumbass, you had a bunch of bats in your motherfucking attic, whether you harvested the shit or not, because you got bats in your motherfucker. You got a guano farm in your house, and it says just breathing in the spores, nigga, can fuck you up. That means you ain't even have to use the shit. Number one, you didn't even have to use it in your weed at all. That's number one. Number two, can you imagine? Can you imagine the
Can you
concentration?
imagination?
Of
The
motherfucking bad shit
concentration
in that motherfucker.
across the nation.
Infection like that, bro. Like that shit. We're not getting 100% uncut guano, nigga, from the people. Like, that shit is handled on some level. This dumbass just had a bat farm in his motherfucking attic, and he was handling some guano, right? That could actually fuck him up just from breathing it in. And you want me to say that, hey man, that shit that I use on my plants with just breathing it, man? If that's the case, motherfuckers they should be shutting down guano plants. Fuck the people growing the weed, nigga. Shut the guano plants down if they can breathe this shit in, right?
Well, I think a couple different things is I'm sure they test for these kind of chemicals in the guano places, and I'm sure they do certain things to purify or whatever. I'm sure it's just a base. Might just be raw boo boo. I don't know, but here's the thing about it, man. I agree with all those points that you said. I think they were very good points, very accurate. You know what I'm saying? So I agree.
The guano contain. Oh no, we already read that. The fungus can cause a serious lung infection that makes it difficult to breathe. For the first time, fatal cases related to individual exposures now outnumber work-related outbreak cases, the study found.
The life says he put too much shit in. That's all. Nigga, that's not all. That nigga dead. That's it, huh? That's all he did? No, that nigga died. That nigga committed death by guano.
Given recent legalization and an expected increase in
Ways to die.
cultivation of cannabis, along with the promotion of bat guano for this purpose, it is important to raise public awareness about the potential risks of using bat guano as fertilizer and emphasize the need for protective measures such as wearing masks when handling it. Dog, you go on your garden, man, they just say the dumbest shit. So now, if I'm gonna use bat guano, not only do I have to wear a mask, but you breathe it in the air. So that means that room gotta be fucking airtight. Cause if it's not airtight, I'm gonna let the spores out in the fucking air for everybody to breathe in and they got no mask. They just said
I think the biggest thing, man, is just to make sure that the guano you're using is not contaminated. And you will hope that if you are buying guano, the companies you're buying it from, their bats are not infected, you would hope that they would test for these particular.
And listen to this. Okay, and then here's the 59-year-old patient, an arthritic, heavy tobacco user with emphysema, was admitted to the hospital after 6 weeks of suffering from breathing troubles. Well, I guess so. He fucking has emphysema. What the fuck is emphysema? Trouble fucking breathing. So
what Chosen is really saying, y'all, was this shit is a conspiracy and a plot to aim it at marijuana, when really, you know what I'm saying, these people were already having problems to begin with.
The first one was a dumbass because you just got
parties.
raw bats in your attic. You a dumbass for that. So yeah, you play stupid games, you win stupid ass prizes, and that's what he won. This second one, he was already fucked up from a lot of other shit, is what I'm saying. And what he went to the hospital for was literally what he was suffering from, which is emphysema. So it's like, I bet you he tested positive for a lot of other bullshit they could pull out of there too, right? That's my issue with this. For this to be a booming, rising thing, okay, you got 2 people that supposedly dead, ain't nobody sick. I know plenty of people that use the shit. I know plenty of people that don't use the shit. And them motherfuckers are still here.
Yeah.
They've been here. And I've been knowing them using this shit for years. So like, I don't really.
Well, here's something I thought. Right? Maybe I'm just, crazy or some shit, right? But I just be wondering and shit. I wish I could have a way to motherfucking measure this shit, right? Just in people. But I wonder if using salt nutrients raises your sodium and blood pressure. Not to say that, you know what I'm saying, just in is there a difference to the physiological of a human when using salt-based nutrients versus using liquid nutrients?
Not to mention,
and the only reason why I ask that is because when you're dealing with the salt, a lot of times you're gonna get dust to fly up. Well, you know what I'm saying? It may not be a whole lot, but you're gonna get a little bit. Open up that bag, it's a little bit of dust. So I just wonder if the pure salt does anything to the sodium levels of the human.
No, and I don't think it does, because we would have heard, like, bro, we don't know everybody in the world that grow weed. We've at least seen or come in contact with at least 100 motherfuckers that grow this shit, bro. Out of 100 people with the risk and numbers they talking about, at least 10 of them should be fucked up in some sort of way, and usually they're not, right? Not to mention the 64-year-old ultimately died of complications related to bowel ischemia. That's what that nigga died from.
Mm-hmm.
So why are we talking about the lesions in his chest, dog, that supposedly came from the bat shit, which it probably did. I'm not saying it didn't fuck him up, because hey, it's a reason why you don't fuck with wild ass animals and do shit like that. But again, 2 things can be what up, True? 2 things can be true. Right? 2 things can be true. Yes, you could have had some type of testable level of this shit because your dumb ass had a bat farm. You had a bat, like Pip says, you had a fucking bat cave. You had a fucking bat cave in your attic. So yeah, there's that. But
True to the Movement says, let's normalize wearing PPE just in case.
Yes, Django.
And Django says, so using molasses while growing may make diabetic spike. I don't know. I just be, niggas be high. Having high thoughts, man. Hey, man, cholesterol's gonna go up using salt-based nutrients. Yeah, not really, but you know what I'm saying? Just curious, like, what's the different effects on the human body based upon the nutrients that ones are using? Is it safer to use, liquid nutrients, or that shit gonna fuck you up just the same? Is that shit more accessible to your skin?
Happy holidays to the most adamant Arizona advocate for cannabis I know. Consequently, the only advocate for Arizona cannabis I know as well. True to the movement. Hey man, happy holidays to your black ass as well. Speaking of, how was Eric? Because I'm done with this dumbass article because that shit just pissed me off for real. Because I could tell dumbass shit when I see it. I just want to talk about that shit because I felt like I synced that shit and nobody was really saying what the fuck I was saying. Like motherfuckers is actually talking about this shit like it's actually fucking feasible. And it's like, bro, if y'all actually took the time to read the whole article, y'all would see what the 64-year-old actually died of, and then you would look at the 59-year-old had a bunch of bullshit going on anyway. So I'm like, man, y'all entertain this dumbass shit. Is how I felt.
No clickbait, man.
But okay, got you. Damn, lost my train of thought. That's why I hate messages. But nah, hopefully everybody Christmas is good, man. We gonna probably wrap this shit up here in a second. But yeah, bro, people are too lazy to read. That be the problem. And so sometimes I made a mental note that I wanted to, I know it ain't nothing but like 10, 12 people, but even on a fucking rewatch, dog, right? I just want people to know, man, read shit all the time and just stop just listening to shit and perpetuate shit. You know what I'm saying? And don't be dumb. Obviously, no one's fucking Batman, right? And that's why. It's fucking dangerous. Hopefully, everybody had a good Christmas, man. Right? I ain't even asked you. Was your Christmas cool, man? Did you? I know. You know. Y'all probably did.
Everything was cool, man. It was all good, man. It was straight, man. And you did ask me. I think we talked about it, man. Everything was straight.
I don't know, man. I smoked a lot of weed and did a lot of dabs doing this show, so I tend to forget.
Me too. Me too. I'm extremely high. I'm definitely star drifting. I'm the star drifter.
That's cool.
But man, shit. Last show of 2024. Shouts out to all the people that tuned in for the last show of 2024. Love the Stone and Streaming family, man. Shouts out to everybody that tuned in.
Shout out to Enu, El Mando, D Django, True. I said El Mando already. Pip, of course, man. We had some new people in this motherfucker. You know, El Mando ain't new, but we always appreciate him for coming through. Cloudy Days. Hopefully we lasted as long as your coffee lasted. You know what I'm saying? Guido. Shout out for you coming through. What a new dude there? Or maybe somebody named that I just ain't seen that be watching in the background. But
somebody fishing.
Yeah, that nigga was fishing. But shout out to him too. You know what I'm saying? And all our usuals that come through. I might try to go live again, y'all, but I'm definitely 420 girl go live. I'm jumping in her shit. I'm jumping in everybody's shit I can. Cause we at the end of the year, y'all. And shout out to D Mike too. So we at the end of the year, man. And I just wanna Beezy Fishing and Outdoors 216. Beezy, yep. There you go. Duty calls for my mans. I'm gonna do him a favor. I'm gonna go ahead, right? Stop by, you ladies. Fuck, you gotta watch the rewatch. I want y'all to have, man, a great motherfucking, man, an actual great New Year's Eve. Be safe, man. Don't fuck up nothing, man. Appreciate everything you got. Right? I know you got some shit to do, right? You sound like you already went up in the coat closet already. So I'm gonna grab the umbrella for you. You know what I'm saying? You got anything you want to leave with the people?
2025.
You know it.
See y'all there.
Yes, sir.
Rain. Every time you see the boy, got a brand new strain. And the shit so Waco. Flame. Put your ass in a ditch. Saddam El Hussein. Two things that a nigga know. Pot of beans let the shit grow. Green like that mean go. That mean go. Two things that a nigga know. Pot of beans let the shit grow. Green like that mean go. That mango, that mango, that mango. Peep the game, check the lingo. Ooh, ooh. Nigga, how far would the green take you? As far as you go. That mango, peep the game, check the lingo. Nigga, how far would the green take you? As far as you go. It ain't no game, it ain't no game. All of these niggas, they looking for game. Lining they pockets, they flooding they pockets, they lining they pockets with all of this change. Shit ain't no game, shit ain't no game. All of these niggas, they do it for game. But one thing won't change, it will remain the same. None of these niggas will ever reign. All these hundreds in this bitch is gone. Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gone. Hope you brought your umbrella, it's gone. And we gon' cause it's gon' all these hundreds in this bitch is gon' Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gon' hope you brought your umbrella, it's gon' and we gon' cause it's gon' all these hundreds in this bitch is gon' Tommy gun, honey bun, it's gon' hope you brought your umbrella, it's gon' and we gon' cause it's gon'